Let's do some live prospecting. I'm going to do outreach, a whole bunch of different, it'll be kind of a smorgasbord. So I'm going to reach out to some expireds. I'm going to reach out to some, what do I got? I've got cash buyers and active landlord buyers I'm going to reach out to. I will probably do some old dead seller lead reactivation as well. Of course, I'm going to use Lead Deck to do the vast majority of that, and very transparently, one of the reasons that I am doing this live stream is I want to let you all know about the free challenge that we have starting on Monday. Starting on Monday, you can register for the 1 deal a week, 3-day fast start challenge. Go to leaddeck.ai/fast. You can also go to onedealaweek.com. Pick your path there. The link is in the description. If you're watching on TikTok, the link is in my bio. You should go register for free. Check that out. And what I'm going to do here is, as I go through some of these different prospect types, I've got some bonuses that I'll share with you just for registering for free. So here's where I'm going to start. I got back to the office, I don't know, 40 minutes ago, after meeting with a seller that came from Lead Deck. It was I think the reason we reached out was he was showing up as a pre-foreclosure. Now, he owns a bunch of properties, over 30, and one of them he must be behind on his mortgage. We haven't referenced that, for the record. We just reached out to see if he would consider an offer on the property. And it took a little while to track him down and get him, to actually connect with him, right? So I talk often about the fact that turning a cold prospect into a warm client and a closed transaction exists on a continuum. So we have to choose the audience that we're going to collect the data so that we can reach out or do outreach to get a conversation so that we can then connect and then get to the contract stage and ultimately the closing, which is how we get compensated, right? And so that is a continuum. It's not A to Z, right? And it took us a while to get from the initial conversation to connecting, but now I have connected with him and we met at a property. And so that's going to be bait that I will use as part of the outreach on this session here. I'll pull up the leads that would most likely be interested in that bait, and I'll explain the thinking behind that as well as we unpack it. So I'm actually going to start with what is our traditional step one of our 1 deal a week blueprint, which is to find a property to use as bait. Now, I already have one, but I saw an MLS listing that caught my eye this morning. And so I'm actually going to follow the traditional 3-step blueprint, and I'm going to reach out to the listing agent, and I'm going to ask the sequence of questions to uncover whether or not this might be a good property to use as bait. Now, this is a property that is currently tenant occupied. It's had multiple price reductions, and it seems like it's a little bit rough. So that is my reasoning as to why I am going to reach out and see if this would be a good property to use as bait. And I want to demonstrate part of what you will experience with the 3-day challenge as well. So we're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone, or maybe multiple stones. Who knows where the analogy breaks down there. Okay, so I found the property, and hold on, let me share my screen here. I'll show what we got here. If you're watching on TikTok and you want to see my screen share, you can jump over to Josh Shanley Coaching on YouTube, And if you haven't already, register for the challenge, onedealaweek.com. So here's the property. Fellow EXP agent, Nathan. I'm going to give him a call. If he doesn't answer, I'm confident he'll get back to me while we're still live here in the session, and we'll walk through the questions that we take listing agents through, which, by the way, is one of the bonuses that you get when you register for free for the challenge at onedealaweek.com. It's one of many cool bonuses we have for those of you who want to participate. It's starting Monday. It's scrolling across the bottom. The link is in the description. If you're watching on TikTok, it's in the bio. Voicemail, obviously. Nathan, hey, it's Josh with EXP. I was calling about 657 Lewisberry Road. Give me a buzz back when you have a minute. Just had a couple of quick questions for you. I'll shoot you a text as well. Thanks. So, left the voicemail. Shoot a text. Hey, Nathan, it's Josh with EXP Realty, period. I was calling about 657 Lewisberry Road. Just had a couple of quick questions for you when you have a minute. Thanks. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. We'll see if he calls back during the session. I'd be surprised if he doesn't, but I've got plenty that we're going to unpack on the session. The next thing I wanted to do is I saw an expired listing this morning that caught my eye. And so we're going to try and track down the owner of this expired listing and see if they are still open to offers. And a couple of reasons why I'm going to dig into this. The biggest one being something that I've been repeating a lot recently on these sessions and in private coaching calls and just in short form content, which is if your pipeline is dry, or if you're seeing inconsistencies, right? The commission roller coaster, the feast and famine cycle, whatever you want to call it, it's most likely because you are waiting for clients to make offers instead of proactively making offers to get more clients. And so I'll demonstrate what I mean. If that doesn't, entirely make sense, I'll demonstrate what I'm talking about as we try to get a hold of Douglas Carl here about his property in Millersburg. Now, this is a property. What is going on with my phone here? This is a property that that expired this morning, and I looked it up and confirmed that it hasn't sold in the MLS. Okay, it hasn't sold in the MLS. Let's see here. So I'm going to give him a call. I'm going to try and give him a call. Try and reach him here. 9680, and we'll see if he's still open to offers. And I'll show you how we can make offers to get the client. And by the way, the script that we use for expired, if you register for the challenge, the One Deal a Week challenge, we'll get you that script as well. It's working really, really well. Not just for me, for a bunch of our users.
Call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Yeah, hi, I was trying to reach Douglas. This is Josh with eXp Realty. I was calling to see if you are still accepting offers for the property at 477 North Street in Millersburg. I'm going to shoot you a text as well. If you could let me know either way, call back or text, whatever's more convenient for you. Thanks, and hopefully chat soon. All right, so I'm going to text as well. Now, I could have done this through Lead Deck, but this was one single expired listing. So I just decided to, to call and text directly. However, time permitting on this live session here, I will demonstrate end-to-end exporting expired listings from my MLS, which is Bright MLS, bringing them into Lead Deck, and then using Lead Deck to simply tap to call and tap to text and tap to email to get more conversations so we can write more contracts and close more transactions. Hi, Douglas. This is Josh with eXp Realty, period. I just left you a voicemail, period. I'm curious if you're still accepting offers for 477 North Street, question mark. Now, I have another phone number. I think this is a landline, but might as well try it since we have it. It's not a working number. Well, let me make sure that I've got the right information. So watch this. Watch this. Share my screen again here. Let me share my screen. Here we go. Let me share it small so YouTube doesn't flag it. YouTube doesn't freak out. I'm going to go to Lead Deck, and I'm going to go to Deal Deck. I'm going to go to My Sellers, and I want to skip trace this address. So North Street, Millersburg. Hey, Sean. Yeah. Can we do the on skip trace? Can we do the Google Map autofill?
Yeah, I can put them.
Beautiful. See, that's what, like, using the thing, we learn what
Enhancements.
Yeah, enhancements live here on the session. 17061. 17061.
Looked at it in a while.
What's it? It versus me just putting, like, I had copied the address and then I had to.
So it's when you put in the address and
Correct.
on the autofill.
Yep. Look at that. Beautiful. So the first position number is the same. So I had the right number. It's just that he didn't answer. He'll probably get back to me. But look at all these other details. So this is actually perfect, because what I can do now is I can demonstrate the tap to functionality here. Now that I've got this lead, this Douglas Carl lead. So I'm going to go to my phone. Okay. I'm going to go to my phone. I'm going to bring up Lead Deck. Where's my, where am I logged in? Look at this. I mean, you should go and, register and join the challenge. We've been testing it to make sure it works and gets you all registered the way it should. But I'm in my Lead Deck account. I'm going to go to Deal Deck. And there it is, right there. That's the property that I just skip traced. Okay, so I open up this card, and now I can tap to call, I can tap to text, I can even record my call so that AI can transcribe it and make some recommendations. Watch this. When I tap to text, pre-populated. Now I've already texted him, but I've got a pre-populated message that has the script, which again, I'll give you the script when you register for the challenge. But it's pre-populated there when you use Lead Deck. I've already done that part, and these other numbers don't look all that relevant. However, well, I'm going to have to pause that because the listing agent is calling back. Nathan. Hey, what's up, Josh? Hey, man. How are you? Good, man. How are you? Good. Hey, what's the scoop on 657 Lewisberry?
That one is, well, first of all, preface, the sellers told me if I get an offer that's all cash, no inspections or anything for $90,000, they'll take it.
Okay.
Second is it needs a ton of work, man.
Yeah.
Like at least $75K.
Oh, wow. But there's a tenant in it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been there like 20 some years.
Okay.
Paying $1,000 a month, which is wild. It's him and his ex-wife and his wife. So,
Okay, that's quite a combo.
right? It was
So the 75,000. I mean, obviously there's a lot of big ticket stuff there. Like what's the?
You got like some structural stuff from there was like some sort of awning.
Okay.
One point, and it pulled some of the frame away.
Okay.
Like it made it lean. The basement is always wet. You got like a stormwater runoff in the back, like 20 feet from the house.
Okay.
It does flood. Not the first floor or anything. Obviously, the basement.
Is it in the flood zone?
No, it's not in the flood zone.
Oh, but it just okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, let's see. The septic's 5 feet from that stormwater runoff. If that ever goes out, I'm not sure the place would even see it.
Okay. Okay. Wow. This is a doozy.
That's the scoop.
Yeah. Fun times. Fun times. Well, I mean, I'll see if I have anybody that might be willing to take on something like that. When you did all the work on it, did you do any due diligence on like what you think it would sell for if all of that was taken care of?
Other guys come in at like 275, 300. Honestly, dude, I don't see where they're getting that at. Like, I would think maybe between 225, 250 max.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's just you don't find too much in that area,
Yeah.
and that's how it is.
Yeah. No. Cool. 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 Hey, thanks for getting back to me so quickly. Do you have anything else on market or off market that might be investor friendly? Okay. Well, if you think of anything, yeah, if you think of anything or anything pops up, let me know, and I'll see if we can find the right buyer for this one. Get you this one off your hands. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, buddy. Well, hopefully I'll be in touch, and one way or another, let's chat soon. Thanks, man. Take care. Bye. I'm going to get back to the expired and the pre-populated tap to email, but I want to unpack that in a little bit more detail right off the bat by me asking just the first question. What's the scoop on this one? He told me where the sellers are at to sell it cash and just be done with this thing. Now, they're probably still too high, but they have told him that they would take a discount off of the current list price. And he gave me a list of some of the work that needs to be done and the fact that it's potentially a problem. Now, for the right investor, there's still room in it to make some money. It's about finding the right investor that would be willing to take on this amount of work for that spread. But I don't really care, because all I'm looking for is bait and a reason to have more conversations. So now I have a reason for me to reach out to the potential, this is probably going to be more the fix and flip guys, although I don't know, it's 4 bedrooms. It's got a lot of square footage. It's in a good school district. The rent on this would probably be really strong as well. So it could be a landlord that would buy this one. I don't know. But either way, I've got the bait and I have a reason to reach out. They're motivated. It's had multiple price reductions. They're willing to take a discount for a cash offer. And it needs work. Once again, I'll give you the list of questions. I didn't go through the list methodically, because in that case, I literally asked one question and he spilled the beans. The most important question is the one that I asked at the end. Now, he didn't have anything, but I would say 1 or 2 out of 5 calls I have with a listing agent, they have something else on market or off market that might be a good deal. And that's what I'm looking for as well, right? More bait more reasons to have conversations. So we'll probably pivot back to this one at some point during this live prospecting session, reach out to some cash buyers. But let's get back to where I had left off before he called back, which is I've got this expired listing. Okay, I've got this expired listing pulled up. And I can just visually looking at these emails, and I mean, look at all this data, by the way. Look at all these phone numbers. We do 2 layers of skip tracing. Okay, and we've got property detail. I mean, this is really good stuff, right? Watch this. So the primary email, the first listed email, that's a high likelihood that that's his email. It's Doug.Carl at, well, I'm not going to say it, but it's at one of the primary email addresses. And I've got another one at the other primary email address. So I would say I've got a 90% chance or better that one of those 2 emails is him. And so the fact that I've called and I've texted and I've emailed means that I am differentiating myself with or against or I'm differentiating myself versus the other agents that are likely reaching out because that one just hit the market. Now, I don't love going after the fresh expireds. I prefer going after the old and stale expireds personally, because it's less of a red ocean in many cases. But that one caught my eye this morning, and I thought I would sort of demonstrate that process with that. Now, when he gets back to me, I want to demonstrate what it will look like for me to lead with offers, because I asked him, let me switch windows here. For some reason, it's not logged in. I'm not logged in the right way. I asked him in my voicemail, in my text, in my email, if he's still accepting offers. And what I know is in many cases, what I will get in response to that is, yeah, do you have an offer or do you have a buyer? And so with this platform, that is one of our VIP bonuses for those of you who choose to participate in the challenge with us, the 1 deal a week, 3-day challenge. It's one of the bonuses in there. And so I can say confidently and legitimately, yes, I do have preliminary offers on the property. And I just wanted to confirm first and foremost that you're still considering selling it, because at this point they may have decided to rent it. He may have decided to rent it, who knows? But I do have legitimate preliminary offers to explore with him. And I also know that for most people, the better option is going to be what I call my 7-day stress-free home sale program. And this gives me a way to pivot. So the ability to make more offers to get more clients and being able to make that pivot, that's what I'm talking about. Or that's one example of what I'm talking about. That's one example. Okay. And that's specifically with sellers that have already raised their hand and sort of said to the world that they're interested or thinking about selling. By the way, I'm sorry I didn't say this earlier, but if you have questions as I'm going through any of this, you can comment on whatever platform you're watching, and I'll do my best to monitor those as we go. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go back to where I started the live stream, which is I went and met with I would call him a tired landlord. I think that's a legitimate way of describing him based upon my conversation. He's been a landlord for a long time. He's been managing his properties himself, right? He is his property manager, and he's starting to think about, or even getting the ball going on selling some of his properties, cashing in on some of his properties. So we went and looked at a vacant one, and now I've got to find, is there an opportunity, and what is that opportunity? So I have photos okay, that no one else has because I went and took them. It's not like those photos are in the MLS. So I have that to offer when I get somebody who is interested and wants more information and details. Before I do that, though, before I start doing that, I want to look at some comparable sales because I want to be able to speak with confidence when I start to get some investors who are expressing interest. So I'm going to pull up the active, pending, and sold in this township and try and match the comparable properties. Okay, this is a semi-detached and kind of what I thought. Take a quick look here. This is a much bigger, well, a little bit bigger property, and it's currently for sale at 210. Not sold. This one is pending, and it was at 185. Okay, similar. This one closed at 156, so that's actually encouraging. And that's right around the corner. This one's right around the corner. This one is also close by. Closed at 138, but it's got 2 bathrooms. It only has 1 photo though. Something's offers received. This is probably a fixer-up or something like that. Okay, 136. 160. Okay. All right. So we're in the one, the 135 at the very low end to the 160, 175, 180 range. I think I've got enough ammunition to go ahead and get started here. So what am I going to do to start using this bait as a reason to have conversations with new potential clients? So I'm going to go over to Lead Deck. I'm going to choose buyers, and I'm going to put in the zip code of the property. Whoops, wrong zip code. Put in the zip code of the property. There we go. And let's refresh the counts. I got 53 cash buyers. Holy smokes. I got 10 active landlord buyers, 1 multifamily buyer. I like to start with small, manageable batches. So I'm actually going to choose the active landlord buyers. I think my logic is good here as well because this is most likely best kept as a rental property. It could be renovated and sold to an owner occupant, and that's who's going to pay the most for it. But the current condition that it's in, a landlord buyer, just the active local portfolio landlord buyer, the guy like Doug that is managing his own properties and just cash flowing them. That's who's most likely going to be interested. So I'm going to start with those because that's 10 and that's manageable, and I can get through 10 in a session. So next, I'm going to create and run this target. I'm going to create and run this target, and that's going to give me 10 leads for me to work. So look at these. Look at this. They own 5, 16, 6. Levi Fisher. I know Levi Fisher. Maybe a different Levi Fisher. 7. Okay. And I only got 6. Now, why did I only get 6, even though it said 10? I only got 6 because 4 are already in one of my other decks because I use this a lot. So there are more out there that might be interested, but I've got 6 to start, so we're good to go. What do I do? I've got to do one more thing, though, before we can get started, which is I've got to craft my pre-populated scripts, okay? The messages that are going to go out by email and by text when I tap after I try to call them first. And so I'm going to add them to a custom script here. Whoops. I'm going to add a custom script so that this is something I do once that saves me a bunch of time. I'm going to say 170-103 31 Doug R off market rental property, whatever. And then it really just matters that I know what it's called. I'm going to put this as the semi-detached rental property in Pembroke. So I'm doing my subject line. I'm going to copy over my email. We've got an off-market rental property available in Pembroke. It could be a good deal for the right investor, interested or know anybody who might be. And then I just got to get the text here as well. And then we'll actually start doing the outreach. In the Harrisburg area, looking for any deals right now. I know we've got an off-market. Got off-market rental property. Off-market, I'll say off-market semi-detached. Off-market semi-detached rental property in Pembroke available. There we go. Okay. Now, to actually do the outreach, that's where I switch back to my phone. So I've got to pull Lead Deck back up here. And I'm going to work from the dashboard, which is our smart deck, because that's generally speaking, it's just the easiest place to work from. So the first thing I need to do is pick the leads that I'm going to reach out to, which is right here, the zip code, active landlords, and I've got 6 of them. And then I just need to pick which of these scripts do I want to have auto-populate. So I'm gonna choose the script that I just used. And then no time like the present here, I am gonna call Rhonda. That's a landline. Well, I'm gonna give it a whirl. Let's see if we can get Rhonda. It's ringing. Disconnected. Well, what can I do here? Well, the phone numbers, so all of the phone numbers listed are landlines, and I've got 1 email. So I'm going to go ahead and tap to send the email. And this is one where I can't tell. It's a Yahoo email, but it's not her name. It might be, it might not be. Hard to know in that case. But one other thing I can do before moving on is I can enhance the data. I'm going to tap that button. And we'll see if we got any. Ooh, okay. So I did get 1 mobile number. I got 2 mobile numbers. Let's try the first one here. Let's see if this is Rhonda. Not in service. Bummer. Let's try the next mobile number. Whoop. While it's ringing. Yeah, hi. I'm trying to reach Rhonda Pollard. This is Josh with eXp Realty. I was calling because it looks like she's a pretty active investor in the Harrisburg area, and we've got an off-market rental property available in Pembroke. So I'm not sure if you know Rhonda or have her info, but if you could pass along my information, or if you could get me her info, either way, this is my cell phone. Thanks for taking the call, and I'll shoot you a text as well. Thanks. So my message in those cases is a little bit different because the phone numbers that are down this far on the list are unlikely to be the actual person, but they, in many cases, they're related to the person in some form or fashion. And I don't mean like familial relation per se, although it could be. And so I change my scripting with that, which, by the way, that's included in the expired scripts book that you can get as a free bonus when you register for the free 1 day a week, 3-day challenge. The link is scrolling. It's with the description or in my bio. Hi, this is Josh with eXp Realty, period. I'm trying to reach Rhonda Pollard, and I just left a voicemail. I'm not sure if you know her or might be able to pass along my info. It's nothing bad. I'm just trying to reach her about an investment property we have available in Pembroke, Pennsylvania. Sorry, I was reading my talk to text to make sure that it was that it is accurate. Okay, and I got no other emails, so I don't know. This one may or may not, may or may not turn into anything. But look at this. This next one owns 6 properties. I've got a first position mobile phone number that is not on the DNC. I've got 3 numbers that aren't on the DNC. I don't see an email, but we'll enhance that in a minute. But the first thing I'm going to do is try and call Levi. After I get through these, let me know in the chat if you would like me to pull expireds, pull them in and work those, or what would be option 2, or work on reactivation, seller lead reactivation campaign. Levi, hey, it's Josh. This is a different number for you. I was wondering if it was you. Anyway, I was calling about an off-market rental property in Pembroke. I'm pretty sure you stick to Lancaster, Mannheim, etc., but you were showing up as the owner of one in that area. So anyway, either way, give me a buzz so we can catch up. Thanks. So it is who I thought it was, which I didn't realize until the voice. I actually, this is fun fact, I sold a 2-unit to him off market back in late fall. That property came from this 3-step blueprint, the 1 deal a week, 3-step blueprint. That property came from that, and I got Levi from the process. So, like, I don't know. Funny how it can come full circle. Okay, let's try the next one here. So phone numbers I've got one phone number that's a landline that's on the DNC, and then I've got another one that is a landline that's not on the DNC. So let's see if I can get somebody here. And you know what? I think what I'm going to do is the seller lead reactivation, because we've had so many great case studies with that recently. I'd be silly not to do some of that. So that's a disconnected number. There's no other contact info. So I'm going to do the enhanced skip trace again. We'll see if we get some other details here. Looks like I'm not. Man, sometimes this is, we've not used this analogy before, Sean, so take note of this one. This is like poker. I got a hand that's, it's not a great hand, at least not so far, but we'll keep working through the deck. You never know. You might have a pocket ace. I don't even know what the analogies I'm making anymore. I don't even know if they make any sense because I'm not a poker player, but whatever. Discard your 2s. All right, here we go. I'm trying a landline here. That we'll see if it's, nope, no good. Okay, really strange. 2 landlines, no email. Let's try and enhance this to see if we can get an email. This just may be a deck that's a tough one to work. You never know. It's working. Well, it looks like that's all the contact info we can find. So I'm going to work 2 more here, and then I'm going to pivot to some old seller lead reactivation. Okay. So what do I got here? I got Donna Mick. And let's see if we can get Donna on the phone here. Starting to rain, so Sean had to run out and put the windows up in his car. This is exhilarating when this happens, when it just rings and rings. It's like, it's great. Live action. Just phone ringing. Everybody say hi to Sean. Hi, Sean.
I had to roll up my windows. It's raining.
Hi, I'm trying to reach Donna. This is Josh with the eXp Realty. I'm calling because it looks like you are a pretty active investor in the Harrisburg area. We've got an off-market rental property in Pembroke, and I was just calling to see if that's something you might be interested in or might know anyone who would be. If you could let me know either way, I will shoot you a text as well. Thanks. So, whoops. I'm going to text as well. And I can't tap the text because it's on the DNC. But active landlord buyers like this, yeah, they want what I'm calling about. And honestly, what I should have done is just Googled the phone number, because her phone number is probably publicly marketed somewhere anyway. Hey, Donna, this is Josh with eXp Realty, period. I just left you a voicemail, period. It looks like you are a pretty active investor in the Harrisburg area, question mark. We've got an off-market rental property in Pembroke available. Is that something you might be interested in, question mark, or maybe know anyone who would be, question mark. Bada bing, bada boom. And then I'm going to tap to email, pre-populated with name, address, etc. And the other ones, there's two potential emails. Nah, are we doing netzero.net emails anymore? Methinks not. I'm not sure that that those are very active at this point. Man, oh man, this yeah, this is I should have folded and and grabbed a new deck, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Win some, you lose some. This is, let me see here, Blasneil and Danae. I don't know. I think I'm saying those names right. This is the last card in the deck, and then I'm going to pivot and do some old seller lead reactivation. Hello? Yeah, is it Blasneil? This is Josh with eXp Realty. Am I saying that right? Or do you go by something else? Gotcha. Well, anyway, I was calling because it looks like you are a pretty active investor in the Harrisburg area, and we've got an off-market rental property in Pembroke. And so I was just reaching out to see if that's something you might be interested in, or you might know someone who would be interested. Yeah, we don't have it actively listed on the market, but I just met with the owner about, I don't know, an hour and a half ago, and he's thinking about selling it. We're not ready to put it on the market, but I told him I'd reach out to some of the active buyers in the area and see if we can come up with something that might make sense for him. It's 124 North 28th Street. And I can text you pictures if you'd like. Yeah. Is this the best number? Just text them to you or email them to you, or? Okay, perfect. I'll text them as soon as we hang up. And if it's something that you have any interest in, let me know. We can check it out in person. And if not, well, no big deal. I mean, he's You know, he's in the low to mid hundreds. I would say, you know, probably 125, 135, something like that.
Is it 1 unit?
Yeah, it's a 3-bed, 1 bath. There's also there could be a 4th bedroom on the 3rd floor. Semi-detached. There's off-street parking in the back. You know, it's a quiet location, but still a pretty convenient location.
Okay. Yeah, send me a picture. Let me check it out.
Yeah.
I'm looking for multi-units.
Oh, okay.
Do you have anything?
Something in Midtown? Is that in your wheelhouse or no?
I like Midtown. I have it in Old Town.
Okay, so we've got a 3-unit on the 1800 block of Green Street that the only reason we don't have it listed yet is they're trying to figure out some of the tax implications of the sale, but they are going to sell it, and we might have it listed as early as next week, but they're also open to selling it without going on the open market if we can get a number that would make sense for them. I can send you, yeah, I have photos of that one too. I can send you the photos on that one.
Yeah, send me the 1800 block. I think that's the best block.
I mean, it's definitely not the best in that area, but yeah, so I get you. My folks are reasonable for whatever that's worth. They're not looking for some pie in the sky number. Okay. So Old Town, so what, like 2100, 2200 block? Yeah, right on. Well, I'll shoot you that, and you know, if it's something that you want to explore in any more detail, let me know. Just because I didn't get it at the beginning, the middle name. What is the name you go by? Abner. Right on. Well, I appreciate you taking the call. I'll text you that info as soon as we hang up, and just let me know. 1810. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, they are thinking they're going to list it somewhere between 2.25 and 250. I'm encouraging them to be on the lower side of that. And you know, I think if we did off market, they might have a little more room in there as well. Awesome. I'll get you that info. Thanks, Abner. Bye-bye.
How many properties does he own?
5. Well, hold on. 5 that are in his personal name, but that he's the real deal. So there's probably more.
Does he have anything you consider an offer on?
Damn it. See? I didn't ask the magic question. However, I will in my text follow-up. So that's the good thing. When you do connect, and by the way, I also was saying that I should have just folded my hand and thrown it in. And then the sixth one, and hopefully this is encouraging because I did not do a good job. You know, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He goes by his middle name. I did get it at the end there. He really prefers multifamily. I've got another one potentially they forgot about on the 1900 block as well. So I might tease that one too. Let's see here. So, and just oh, look at it. Look at this. And in the meantime, so I was lamenting that I had a bad deck, and 2 out of 6. 2 out of 6. Donna replied as well. It is a semi-detached single, 3-bed, 1-bath. Period. I do also have an off-market 3-unit in Midtown Harrisburg. Is that something that might be of interest to you? Question mark. I mean, 2 out of 6, 33%. 33%. I mean, what are we talking about? Hey, Abner. Thanks for taking my call. I'm going to send the pics here in a minute. So I'm going to send him the pictures, and then I'm going to save him as a contact in my phone so that I have that for future reference. And then I'll also show you how I can, with the tap of a button, shoot him into my primary CRM, into Bold Trail. Where are my photos? My photos are in. So when I go out and preview a property that's off market that I'm going to use as bait while it is still off market, I just take a bunch of photos and I put them into a Google photo album, photos.google.com. You can put them wherever you want. I just like to have it as an easy reference to send when I get someone like that. So I'm in my Google Photos app. I go to my albums, and this is the one that I saw earlier. So I got to get the link for that. Share album. Where's the link? Oh. Share album. Oh, get link. I don't know. It's being difficult. Okay, link copied. Sent that. And then did I not make an album for 1810? Yes, I did. Where's it at? 1810. Son of a gun. I didn't. Well, now I can make an album. So I'll show you. I literally just, I title it the address of the property, 1810 Green Street. I'm certain I made an album. I don't know what happened to it. 1810 Green Street. Now I got to go and find the photos. I met with him a week ago. So let me find them in my, here's one I looked at Tuesday morning. I did make an album for that one. I haven't even gotten to use that one as bait yet. And I got to get back to her. It's a bit of a disaster. She still owes $50,000 on her solar panels. And it's not that, it's a property that's not worth that much. Okay, so, all right. So I got to the photos there, and I literally, I don't care so much about the order. I just want to get them all in there. So I'm just adding them. And when I go out on an appointment like that, I do my best to take enough photos that someone could maybe not completely pull the trigger, but enough detail that they could confidently say, yes, this is something I'm interested in, or no, this is definitely too much of a project, or whatever. That's my goal when I'm taking those photos. Also, I want to have enough photos that if I end up submitting it for an institutional buyer, which I had showed earlier in the live stream here, that I've got that, like, they're going to need all of the photos too. And in that case, I mean, they need everything. They need, picture of the utilities, every wall, every corner, everything. Okay, so I sent him those. Now I need to save him as a contact in my phone. I don't remember his last name, but I'll pull it up here. I'll pull up the deck here. Where is it? Let me go here. So what I thought was a bad hand ended up being two. I have two new cards in my hand that I can match up with off-market or on-market deals. Investor, multifamily, Harrisburg area. So now he's a contact in my phone, and let me see here. Okay, so his actual primary address is also local enough that I'm going to add him to my CRM. And then this gives me an opportunity to demonstrate what all I do with those when I add them to my CRM. Okay, so I'm going to hit the push to CRM button, and then that will effectively instantly be added to Bold Trail. What do I do from there? several things. Number one, he will start to get my deal of the week email. Okay. He will start to get my deal of the week email, which I send out every single week, except when I'm busy and don't get to it, which happened the last 2 weeks. But one went out this morning. And my guess is I've already started to get email replies, but I haven't had time to dig into that. So he'll start to get that. And then, oh, why is he not in here? Vargas. I might have to check the connection. I don't know why he didn't get pushed in here. Well, what I can do in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that to go in, is another thing I will do with folks like this is I add him to my direct mail AI postcard newsletter. Now that's a mouthful, but it is a postcard that I send once a month to everyone who's on that particular list as a reminder for them to do business with me if or whenever the time is right and they're looking to buy, sell, or invest. So I'm going to find my list there and I'm going to add him. I'm going to manually enter the address, Abner. Oops. TikTok. I've been live streaming so long on the TikTok channel that I had to make you do this like verification thing, that it's not a bot. 1501 Farm Cross. 1501 Farm Cross Way. Boom. What does that look like? Well, let me show you what the postcard looks like. Every day, 14 or 15 of these go out, and it's got their property on the front. And on the back of the card, the front of the card is pretty static. The back of the card is dynamic based upon the month and the area of the recipient, specifically the city. So it is dynamic and relevant and congruent to them based upon where the postcard is being sent. So I've got him added there. Let's see if he's shown up in here yet, or if we've got something. Maybe the connection's broke in some form or fashion. Let me double check that. Push to CRM. Well, I'll have to troubleshoot that after the call, but I can hit done for today. And now my deck is clear. That deck, which I thought was a dud, ended up being not a dud. Okay, you have a pro forma on these. I do not, but I can put together more details for you. Currently, the second floor is vacant, and the first and third floor have long-term tenants. The first floor is paying $1,000 a month, and the third floor is paying $900 a month. They have not had a rental increase in many, many, many years. And Donna has not gotten back to me. Holy smokes. Look at this. Now it's starting to heat up because now the expired listing got back to me. So now I'm up to 4 out of 8. 4 out of 8 conversation rate. And then also Donna gave me her primary email. I mean, this just went from boo-hoo, woe is me, to now just being an avalanche of opportunity, which is, when you do the work, good stuff happens. So what am I going to do? I got to triage here. Things are coming at me fast and furious. So number one, I'm going to go back to this deck, and I need to save Donna's info. Where is Donna here? Let me find Donna. There we go. Donna Mick. Okay. So Sean, I don't know if it's the smart deck or if the connection's broke, but I pushed the CRM and it didn't show up in Bold Trail, which it usually has for me, but I don't think I've ever tried to push one from the Smart Deck. I don't know if that could somehow be doing it.
I'll ask in a second.
Investor, Harrisburg area, Landlord. So I'm saving Donna. So I saved her number there. And then I want to copy the email and add that. So I have that saved with her contact info. I'm going to try and push her again to the CRM to see if it was just a fluke. So I'm going to try and push her to CRM. I also want to add her to the AI newsletter. So I'm going to go and add her to that. I think she's got a local address as her mailing address. Look at that. Yes, 5055 Irene. So let me go back here. Top. I'm going to add. Manually enter. Donna Mick. 55 Irene Drive. Bing. Bang. Boom. And did she show up? She didn't either. Yeah, we'll get to the bottom of that, what's happening there. And once that gets fixed, I'll take care of that. Oh. Right on. Didn't realize you are in sub 2. Definitely would like to chat later. Thanks. So we've got that. That's a good connection. Okay. The first 2 floors are 1 bedrooms. The 3rd floor is a really weird layout. It's kind of studio-ish. I wouldn't call it a full 1 bedroom. So Abner said that's not the block that he doesn't like. So he used a double negative. So he actually likes that block because that was part of our conversation. So I've got that one. I've got Donna, and then Douglas, who was the expired, said he's still accepting offers. Terrific. Thanks for confirming. Period. I've got a couple of preliminary offers. In the 260-ish range. Is that something you'd even consider? Question mark. I know it's a little far off from the last list price that you had on it. Man, oh man. Now we got stuff flying back and forth. We'll see what happens on that expired listing. I went right for I was very direct with that one, in part because I'm busy and I have a lot of opportunity in my pipeline, and I want to see how motivated he is. It was last listed at 279.9. I have preliminary offers in this 260th range, and we'll see what he comes back with. I can always pivot to other options if that is, if he's like, yeah, no, thank you. We're just not ready to go there. I can certainly pivot to other potential solutions or options for him if that's the scenario that ends up happening. So okay, got you. Right on. I didn't mean necessarily that you were doing sub 2 deals, but that you were part of that sort of tribe or community, which I'm assuming based upon some of your other messages. Said, either way, would love to connect. More conversations lead to more contracts, lead to more closings. I mean, it's really as simple as that. Now, I like talking with these type of clientele, but this blueprint works for any type of clientele. The exact execution of it is a little bit different depending on the ideal client avatar that you're going after. And so it's just a matter of matching whatever bait we're putting out there with the right pond. Okay. So matching the bait to the pond is how we attract or catch more of the ideal clientele that we're looking for. In my case, I like working with Doug's, the tired landlords that have a bunch of properties that they're going to slowly unload. And I like working with Abner's, who is, potentially always on the lookout for deals, because while one client, $1 million client is a nice payday, that pays you once. I like building relationships that can pay me over and over and over and over and over. In other words, where there's going to be many transaction opportunities with that client. So I'm bouncing back and forth here because I want to demonstrate a whole, I want to kind of give you a variety of examples of our one deal a week blueprint in practicality. Okay. In practicality. So called a listing agent, had a great conversation, called and texted and expired, already got 1-for-1 response. Low sample size, admittedly, but 1-for-1, not too bad. Pulled 6 active landlords, 2 out of 6. I mean, that's pretty good as well. I'm going to pivot now and run one of our playbooks that we literally built out over the last week or two that was inspired by 2 of our users, Brianna Elliston, 2 of our Founders Club members, Brianna Elliston and Wendy Atherton. And it is a scripting and a process that is ideal for reactivating old seller leads. They could be home value leads. They could be Z-Buyer leads. They could be, I think Brianna had Smart Zip leads. You could get these leads maybe you were running Facebook or Meta ads to get home value requests or whatever. It doesn't really matter. It will work in a bunch of different examples and instances. And to do that, I'm going to use Lead Deck to do the outreach. Why am I doing that versus doing it directly in Bold Trail? Because this was built as a one-to-one communication engine, outreach engine. Okay. It was a one-to-one outreach engine. Why is that relevant? Well, you've already seen why it's relevant, because I have literally reached out to 8 people on this live stream, and I've had conversations with 4 out of 8 already. The more native and natural the outreach, the higher the response rate. So Lead Deck is your outreach engine. Your phone is the vehicle. You're the driver. All you need is fuel. So far, the fuel that we've been using is the active landlord buyers and expired, but you can bring your own fuel, in other words, unconverted old seller leads, and use it that way as well. So that's what I'm going to do next. And the first thing I need to do before I start reaching out to them, number one, I'd have to bring in the fuel, but I've already done that. But let me just show you where and how you do that in here. So we go to a deal deck, we open up my sellers, and we can then import. All we need is a CSV file. We can import. You can import for sale by owners. For example, Wendy Atherton, she imported 20 for sale by owners this past Thursday. She used Lead Deck to do outreach to them. She got 12 replies by text only. She literally only texted them. She got 12 replies and 5 or 6 of those she's still going back and forth on with preliminary offers and the potential to pivot to a listing. That's one example. Another example I have in here are my Z buyer seller leads, which I have saved as a target. The possibilities are limitless here. This is how you would bring in data or fuel if you already have their contact information. If you don't, there's a different flow for that. For example, if you export expired listings from your MLS, you'd bring them in with a different flow for that. Okay. So for me to be able to tap my way to more conversations, I need to build out my custom script for this follow-up. So I'm going to call this the magic number seller reactivation script. And I am going to, I can't give you the full playbook, but what I can give you, if you register for the 1 deal a week 3-day challenge, you can register at onedealaweek.com. The link is also with this somewhere or another in the description, etc. I will also get you this script so you can use this regardless of, at what number. That's what I called it. Magic number, at what number. Same thing. Close enough. So I need to take this. This was formatted for Bold Trail because I did try this in Bold Trail, and it's got the merge fields that match that. I want morning. Is everything okay, Sean? Are you okay?
I'm trying to think. I'm having trouble thinking.
Let's see here. I want the street address here. And it's not morning, it's afternoon. So I'm going to say afternoon. Actually, I'm just going to make this so it's universal. Hey, first name, would you be open to an offer for blank address? Thanks, Josh. And I'll put EXP Realty. Okay, so that's the email. I'm sorry, that's the text, but I want the email as well. So I'm going to save that script. So the subject line, I just put RE : and the street address. That gets a pretty good open rate. I know for a fact. Okay, and this is the body of the email. Paste that in. Hi, so-and-so, would you be open to an offer for... At what number would it be worth it to consider? At what number would it be worth it to consider? Now, I'm not putting anything else in my email because I have saved on my phone a signature by email that I'll show. I'm sorry. I've got to... That's what happens on these sessions, right? I'm teaching, I'm coaching, whatever, but then I get the squirrel distraction because this is the thing that I'm actually looking for, which is the conversations, right? So I can write more contracts and close more deals. So I'm just going to thumbs up that. Fair enough. Period. Let me see if I can get them submitted for final without me checking it out in person since we've got all the photos online. Period. Okay, if I get back to you sometime tomorrow, question mark. Okay, so the expired listing, he's pretty motivated. He's pretty motivated because he didn't balk or flip out about the 260 number. And it was last at 280. So we'll see what happens on that one. I'm going to get back to him tomorrow. Utilities are split. The furnaces, I can't remember how old they are, but they have been regularly serviced. And yes, I'm sure we can get you in to check out the common unit and probably at least one of the occupied units potentially, and certainly the basement, etc. later this week sometime, question mark. So if this were our last workshop, this would be akin to when Ken, 87 minutes in, said, I got to go, it worked, I'm going to show a house, right? So if this isn't reason for you to register for the free 3-day challenge, one deal a week, I don't know what is, because potentially 3 clients so far from, I've been streaming for what, a little over an hour, and I've been talking the whole freaking time as well. And I mean, talking to all of you and not just doing the work. So, oh, and look at this. All offers will be considered is what that expired said. I mean, let's go. What are we talking about? And Abner will be in the area tomorrow. Got it. Let me see when he might be available to meet us. Okay. Now, I saved my script for the old seller leads that I want to reactivate with our magic number or at what number script, which once again, I will give you that script, the document that I had up on the screen here. I will give that to you as a free bonus when you register for the free challenge. And if you don't see it, you're going to have to just reply to the email, the confirmation email you get when you register, and I will get you that link. Actually, before we do this, before I go and pivot to that, I got to call Ernest to see if we can get in tomorrow. Abner he's going to be in town tomorrow, and he wants to check it out tomorrow. So let's see if we can make it happen. He usually answers. Hey, Ernest, period. I have someone who is pretty interested in the 3 unit. And I know you guys are still sorting out some things on it, but I was hoping we might be able to check it out with him tomorrow to see if or when, things are sorted out and we're ready to roll, if he might be the right buyer for the property. Would you be around at all tomorrow to take him through the vacant unit and the basement? Question mark. All right, we'll see on that. We'll get in. It's just a matter of whether or not he'll be around tomorrow. So here's what I'm going to do now. I'm bouncing around, but that was part of the point here, is just demonstrating like this is the work. This is the work. So I'm back on my smart deck. I've got my saved script. Now I need to find the fuel, right? I gotta put fuel in the engine so I can start the car and get it driving. So I got to find my Z buyer seller leads. There they are. And I'm going to do, so I'm going to switch it to a daily goal of 25 of these. I don't know. I'm just going to text these. So we'll see how many I get through. And some of these, because I literally just exported and imported in here, some of these I know the situation or the scenario a little bit, like Albert here. I know, I've talked to him numerous times. But look, I tap pre-populated. Whoops, I forgot to choose my script. So I picked the bucket or the fuel that I'm working, but I didn't choose my script. I got to refresh it here because it didn't save on the phone. Okay, let's try this again. Boom. There it is, the magic number seller reactivation script. So, bing. There we go. Here we go. Boom. And I'm going to send the email as well. I didn't save the email correctly. So that's user error. That's 1000% my fault. I see very clearly what I forgot to do here. I forgot to change the merge first name field. Sometimes I go too fast for my own good. So in this case, I'm just going to type in his first name. And then once I refresh, the pre-populated will be in there. Sean, kudos on making it. I don't know if you did this on purpose, but that when you refresh it, it still holds the deck and the saved script that you had.
Yeah, I did that this week.
Beautiful. Appreciate it. All right, Mary at 35 Reed Drive. I don't even know where 35 Reed Drive is, but blue text, which, by the way, the example that I gave of Wendy doing this reactivation, I never closed the loop on that, did I? So she has 300-ish old unconverted seller leads. And she decided to take a bucket of 50 of them, bring them to Lead Deck, and work them through here, through the same process that I'm doing right now. There were several reasons why she decided to do that. One of which being she fully and has embraced the fact that this as an outreach engine will just get you more conversations because it's a direct one-to-one. And she got a response. Hold on. She got a reply from a lead that had been in there for, I think, nearly 2 years, maybe even 3 years. I don't know. He had never replied. She could see that he was looking at the home values and so forth. He had never replied before, but she sent him a message like I am doing right now. And it was a blue text. So it was from her iPhone to his iPhone. He replied. Now she's got an appointment, and now she's working that as a possible listing opportunity. And it's in a neighborhood that she loves and wants more business in. And it just so happens that it's also $1 million price range. Not too shabby. Okay, I still screwed this up because I'm not paying attention and just going too fast. I still had the merge field messed up. But if I can refresh here. There we go. So I'm working my way. All right, Charles, bing. When you just text and email, you can work through pretty quickly. Now, the reality is a phone conversation is, that's what you're trying to get. But I want to demonstrate different ways that you can go through this process and still end up in the same, the same end goal, which is more conversations of some kind, email, text, whatever, so that we can write more contracts, make more offers to write more contracts, and then ultimately close more transactions. Just working through the deck here. Give me another good reminder to recommend that you register for the 1 deal a week 3-day challenge. It's free. onedealaweek.com. onedealaweek.com. You can register for free. It starts on Monday. You know, I'm gonna take a minute here. I want to show something really freaking cool that Sean just recently added, which is when I get someone who says yes, I can tap this blue button here that says get cash offers. And in a matter of seconds, not even seconds, a second, basically, I have multiple offers. I can see that I have one single close offer, I have a dual close offer, and one buy now, sell later offer, and I've got estimates of value. Now, normally there are more than that, but this must be a really rural property, which is not uncommon in my market. I mean, it's just because it's rural.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. But so be it. Mandy. So Mandy is one that I talked with her live last week while I was in here, and we pretty much decided I'm not a good fit. She had some ridiculous listing number from another, from her friend that was an agent, and I just said, well, I think you should probably list with her because right now I have more than enough opportunity to work, which is one of the many wonderful things about having a pipeline full of opportunity is you kind of, you can kind of pick and choose who then you work with, the clients that you choose to do business with. And I'm just working through here. I think I've texted this guy before. Oh no, apparently not. Oh, you know what? I think I did, but it was Bold Trail. Yeah, well, what are you going to do? Oh, well, I worked through 10. That was pretty quick. And we'll see how many replies I get while we're on here. Are there any? Uh-oh. Yeah, it looks huge for sure. The expired is still selling me on the property. I left him a message. He usually gets back to me pretty quick. When are you getting in town and when are you heading out of town tomorrow? Question mark. All right, none of those have replied yet. So, looks my queue is empty. Let's get the next batch. Boom. Donald Dar. I feel like I talked to this guy, but I don't have a text message exchange with him, and it's a blue text. So, let her rip. Ooh, and I see something that I think I'm going to work through these 10, and then I want to show something else that relates to this whole one deal a week ecosystem that we're building, which is the deal of the week email. I've gotten a reply, at least one reply from the email that I sent today with my deal of the week. Actually, it's deals of the week, the way I've been doing it. And so I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. I'm going to work through these 10. Sean, we need some music.
You don't have to tell me.
We need some background music. Hopefully it won't get I won't get like a copyright nonsense thing. We'll keep it quiet enough that it won't get flagged. I am just tapping away here. I'm just tapping away. Here's the way I think about this work. When you send messages the way we're sending them, which is the way, communication like this is intended, one-to-one, every one of them is another line in the water, right? And so it's like, how many lines in the water can I get? And sometimes you get the bite right away, but sometimes it needs to, you need to just be patient. And I've gotten bites on lines that I've thrown out there weeks, sometimes months after I originally threw the line out. I'll give you one very specific, for example. I emailed a multifamily, a property owner that owns a bunch of multifamily. I emailed him in December, and he called me in February, and I had only emailed him because it's the only contact info I had for him. And he kind of hung on to it, and he got back to me when the timing was right for him. All right, a couple more here. Sam Sharma. Why would he be showing up for that? I wonder how Sam's doing. I got to skip that one. Sam's already a client. Let's see here. I'm cruising along here. I think it loaded up 25 for me this time, not. And some of these I only have email for. They must have, I guess before I exported them, they must have been, the email must have been cleaned out as like the phone number must have been removed for not being a working number, which is good. That way we're not. So I'm going to, after I get through this, I'm going to take another turn a little bit, or make a little pivot. I think this guy listed his property. Let me just double check before I solicit an on-market listed property. Maybe not. Let me just double check here. Huh, I guess not. I don't see it. Well, let her rip then. Okay. Making progress. Susan Colombo. I remember this lady. Whew. She's a doozy. And let's see here. Oh, that one I had previously sent a Loom video. I wonder whatever happened with that one. Hopefully I didn't drop the ball too bad. That one didn't work out. Let's see here. Blue text. That's good. No shot of whiskey. Rex. All right, I'm almost through this deck here, and then I'll take a minute and I'll show you the deal of the week email that I sent this week and the response. And I'll also let you know that that is one of the bonuses when you register for the one deal a week 3-day challenge, is the complete deal of the week email system, which works for converting your existing email database, but it can get you more leads too if you execute on the full playbook. All right. All right. How many more we got here in this deck? We're making progress. Okay. I wonder, it'll be fun because I'm gonna do a live stream tomorrow, and probably also through 25. each of the next 2 days. And so I'll report back how many replies I got to that. In the meantime, let's take a look at this here. Where is that reply? Oh, there it is, right here. So this was my deal of the week email. I've been featuring off-market properties because that's more what I've been working. And it's funny because this perfectly ties into several things I've mentioned already here, which is number one, the 3-unit that I called Ernest about. I have that in my deal of the week email. The 3-bedroom, 1-bath, semi-detached in Pembroke. I have that in here, even though I wrote this before I actually met him. But I had connected with him on the phone yesterday, and I know with certainty that if I bring him an offer, I'm way more likely to get him or the person I'm bringing the offer on as a client. So let's just like, don't wait, take action, and you can make your own market effectively. It also has one that I looked at. Was that yesterday morning? Man, oh man, yesterday morning. Seems like it was a week ago. And then a recreational lot that I literally just listed today that came from the What's Your Number, Magic Number playbook. So there is the off-market deals of the week email. and Chris replied asking for more information about number 1 and number 2. So now I need to get them more information. Now, what I typically do in that scenario is I will send a personal Loom video with details about those 2 properties. Now, for some of you, that might be like scary. And in that case, I'll give you an alternative that I can. And in the reality, in this case, I'll probably do both, which is for number 2, I have photos that I got while I was in person yesterday, checking out, previewing the property. And number 1, I now have actively listed on the market. So I can send the link to the MLS listing on that, and I can send the photos. But I'm going to do both. I'm going to record a video of me talking through those 2 things. And then I will provide those links with the details. And this, the person that responded, they have been in my database forever. I've had multiple conversations with them, and they would fit. For those of you that you've followed along with some of our trainings and some of the I guess the mantras that we talk about, or the like core beliefs, which is, as a real estate agent, there's basically, you have 3 roles or ways of getting clients: being the shepherd to your flock, your sphere of influence, your past clients, etc. Number 1, being a farmer and doing your best to prepare the fields and plant the crops and praying for good weather, etc., etc. And the fisherman. And I highlight that to say that Chris, who replied, is very much from fisherman activity, and she has been in my database forever, right? So I don't like to just wait reactively to clients that come to me making, ready to make offers. We want to go and bring offers to potential clients and reverse the bucket. And she is an illustration of why I believe that, and and why we've sort of built out this framework and this blueprint so that we don't have to just sit around and reactively wait for business to come to us. Okay, so when I record a personal video message, I use Loom, and I use an app on my phone called the Make It Big app, so that I can put their name flashing in lights. And so I'm going to record a video with the details of this property. These 2. Hey, Chris, it's Josh. So number 1 on the list, we now have it actively listed. I'll include the the link to the MLS listing for it that has all the photos and details, etc. The second one is not listed. She is, she's ready to sell and wants to sell as soon as possible, but we don't have it actively listed. It's a 2-story. There's 3 bedrooms upstairs. There's 1 bedroom and a full bath downstairs. It's a lot of square footage. It's got a great fenced in yard. It's on a nice cul-de-sac. She's made a lot of upgrades and updates. Like she's done a lot of renovations, etc., to the property. So I'll include a link to the photos on this as well. And if you'd like to check out either or both of them in more detail, just let me know, and I'm sure we can coordinate. So simple like that. Usually on something like this, I keep them to 60 seconds or less. If I am going into more detail because, I've already connected with the client and we're going for the listing, or we're, providing more context and details to allow the person to decide whether or not they want to work with me as a client, then sometimes I'll go a little bit longer. And in fact, I'll do this. I'll include this as an example. If or when you register for the 1 deal a week 3-day challenge, if you reply to your the confirmation email that we send you, I will send you the 5-minute Loom video and the PDF proposal that I created from that got me Ernest, which is the 3 unit that we're going to be listing. And he's got 2 other properties that I'll be helping him sell as well. Just another example of why I love absentee owners who own multiple properties. Just go ahead and register and reply to the confirmation email, and I'll shoot you those. It's got a Loom video, an infographic, and then a summary PDF that is making the case for me. So let me just finish this video here. Okay, so I've edited the video. I'm going to say, here you go, Chris. Link to number 1. And where was that? Here it is. And link to number 2. And that was, or is right here. Bada bing. Oh, I got to create the link. There we go. Now I created it. Let me know what you think, and which, actually, would it make any sense to check out either or both? Let me know. Thanks, Josh. Boom. Here we go. And I'll get more replies to that as the day goes along, as people have time to catch up on their emails. It doesn't look like I have any other as of yet, but there'll be more that come in. Oh, look at this. Hot diggity dog. So that was really weird. But whatever. one of the emails that I sent, okay, before I pivoted, was to 22 Torrey Circle. He replied with a number. Now what? What do we do? Well, if you had the full playbook, you would just open to page, 5 or something like that. But since you don't have that, at least right now, let's go ahead and explore the next best steps here live. I don't remember if I have pulled this property yet. And in fact, even if I have, let's start from scratch. Number 1, I'm going to go to fastcashoffers.ai, our instant offer portal, which you can get free unlimited access as a challenge VIP. So go and register for the challenge 1 deal a week, 1 deal a week, 3-day challenge. Go to onedealaweek.com, or the link is in my bio on TikTok or in the description. If you're watching elsewhere, go sign up. When you get signed up as a VIP, you get unlimited access to this. platform, which I'm going to pull. All I need is an address, and I can pop it in here so I can pull preliminary offer options. Now, just from some of these AVM values, I'm thinking we're going to be a little bit off, but who cares? Shoot the shot, make the offer, right? Make more offers to get more clients. Don't wait for clients to make offers. Okay? Don't just sit and reactively wait for business to come to you. Go and create the business. So he said 245. The best preliminary offer we got is 220. What am I going to do now? Well, the reality is, in most cases, I would send a video reply, a Loom video. But I know some of you watching this are terrified by that concept. I get it. So let me show you what you can do just with text. Thanks for that. Okay, so he said 245. Best preliminary offer option came back at 220K. However, I do believe we could get you that number with our 7-day stress-free home sale program, depending on the current condition and some other factors. Would it make any, would you be totally opposed to exploring that option? Thanks, Josh. So we close the loop on the fact that we have a preliminary offer, and we plant the seed for the pivot, which my pivot is what I call my 7-day stress-free home sale program. We have a playbook on that too. Or if we don't, it's coming soon. Coming soon, Sean? That one's coming soon.
What?
The 7-day stress-free home sale
Playbook?
playbook. Coming soon. Coming soon. I've got information. Here's what I will do. If you sign up as a VIP, so you register for the challenge, which is free, and you upgrade to VIP, I will give you what we have on the 7-day stress-free home sale program currently. It's not a full playbook yet, but I'll give you what we have if you're curious and want more information on that. So what time is it? Oh boy. So I'm going to have to get wrapped up here sooner than later, because I'm getting to that time of the day where, number one, I'm getting a little grumpy because I need something to eat, which Sean's he's over there. He's on a 48-hour fast.
It'll be 44 to 46, but I'm hungry.
So he's getting hangry over there. I'm on a 2-hour fast, maybe 2.5. But anyway, and then I also got it gets to be the time of the day where I play taxi for the many children that we have in the Shanley household. So let's do this. We've got a couple of live viewers. Do we have any questions about anything that was shared, or anything that maybe wasn't clear? Is there anything I didn't get to that I went to share? Well, actually, let me do this. Certainly, you can comment with your questions if you want, but I'll unfold what else I can execute from today as next best steps, and then tomorrow I'm going to do another one of these sort of marathon live streams, because A, I get business when I do them, and B, we want more people to register for the 1 deal a week challenge. It's free. onedealaweek.com. Anyway, so that property where I talked to the listing agent, Nathan, tomorrow, I'm going to use that as bait and I'm going to reach out to the cash buyers, 16 of them in New Cumberland. I will reach out to all 16 of those cash buyers tomorrow. I say that, but I don't think that I've ever gotten through 16 cash buyers, because usually I get to 10, 11, or 12, if not less. And what happens is what happened with Abner is we're off to the races. But we'll see. I'll try and get through all 16 tomorrow. What else might we do tomorrow? Well, the other property that I previewed yesterday morning is in Camp Hill. And I've got 28 cash buyers in Camp Hill. Now, it's going to take a unique cash buyer for this one because it's a little bit of a higher priced property, but she is very motivated and is very much interested in a quick sale of the property. So we'll see on that. And either way, I have to get back with her tomorrow and get an update to her. Oh, look at this. Okay, holy smokes. So I got to stop. Somebody wants me to stop. And I've got another person that gave me a number. So it worked. It worked. So what am I going to do next? Well, let me share my screen over here again. I need to pop this one. Let's pull the preliminary offer options for this property. Okay. 6010. Fancy way of, I don't know if it's Michelle or Michael. I don't know how you say this street. There's like an extra E at the end. Let's see what we get. This person said, Donald said 300. I have no idea what this is going to come back. Oh, yes, I do. I remember Donald now. Donald is throwing out pie in the sky numbers. But I mean, he's given me a make me move number. And doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to get him. I'm still going to get him a number. So thanks for that. Period. Looks like the best preliminary offer came back around 198. I think we could probably get you 225, maybe even closer to 250 with one of our other solutions. But I don't see a path to 300, at least in the current market. Would you be totally opposed to exploring some of the other options we have available? Question mark. We'll see. He's not motivated. So I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I'm also not going to.
That's not realistic.
Yeah. Well, he's not realistic because he's not motivated. He doesn't really want to move. I mean, I guess 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but it's all practice and I'm going to shoot the shot. Who cares? Because his motivation could change tomorrow. You never know. You never know. And then Ernest. Ernest confirmed that he's going to get back to me. Did Abner give me a time that he's going to be in town? I'll be around from 9 to 4.
I lied. About what? Saying no Dylan, sorry.
Oh,
2
you
days.
have one of these?
I've got like 4 of them.
Do you?
What do you
But
mean?
thank
no
you.
Dylan, sorry?
Whoops.
Well, now I'm the people that everybody.
Sorry, that wasn't meant to
I told you
send.
that. I've only done
Period.
it for-
Could we check it out?
Is he gonna pay
Sorry,
me
that
all
wasn't
the money?
meant to be sent to you. LOL.
All right.
Could we do 9 o'clock tomorrow
There you go.
in the morning? Question mark.
I hate that. No, not to joke about that though.
That's CJ for those of you. No, you're fine, bro.
Are you on a call?
No, I'm on a live stream.
Oh my god, it's all right. Sean's talking to me. Your fucking partner's talking.
I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, this is, look, it's like a reality television, right? I mean,
No,
that's what an office is.
he's
Oh, now we're gonna have to put explicit on the thing, the dang thing, because CJ's over here dropping F-bombs. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Bro, you're good. You're good. You're good. All right. I'm going to wrap up because I'm running out of energy. But anybody have any questions for the comment section? Drop a comment if you have a question. I will be back live tomorrow. We're going to work some of the other opportunities that I uncovered here. And who knows, maybe one of the old seller leads will turn into some good bait that we'll use for step 2 of the process, the one deal a week process. Which, if you're not familiar with the one deal a week blueprint, number 1, we find bait. Number 2, we talk to buyers. Number 3, we make offers. Okay. And the bait might be on market properties. It could be expired. It could be for sale by owner. It could be Z buyer leads. It could be a tired landlord like Doug. It could be pre-foreclosure, right? Any number of ways. We then have the bait and we have a reason to have the conversation with the next step in the process. Active landlord buyers, cash buyers. It could be retail buyers. If you have a database of retail buyers, you've got a Bold Trail, you've got a Lofty, you've got a Follow Up Boss, whatever. You can use that as a reason to create a conversation. That's all we're trying to do here, is have more reasons to have more conversations, because if we have more conversations, we end up writing more contracts, i.e. making more offers that turn into more closings, compensation in our bank accounts. Okay. And we built Lead Deck to make that easy. It's your outreach engine. This is the vehicle. You're the driver. And then all we need is the fuel. The fuel could be for sale by owners. It could be expireds. It could be old unconverted seller leads. It could be pre-foreclosures. That's what we'll spend some time tomorrow doing, as well as we'll explore how you can use Lead Deck to provide its own fuel, meaning you can get the seller leads directly from Lead Deck, the pre-foreclosures, the tired landlords, the out-of-state absentees, the tax default, the involuntary liens, the inherited, the vacant. We can pull multifamily. We can pull vacant land. We can any number of ways that we can use it as an outreach engine to have conversations with people that want and need your help and your service and the services that you have to offer in whatever market you're in. So if you haven't already done so, you should register for the One Deal a Week Challenge. The link is on the screen. The link is in the description. If you're on TikTok, the link is in the bio. It's free to register. It starts Monday. I would consider upgrading to the VIP because we got some cool stuff we're including for our VIPs, some really cool stuff. Either way, we're going to walk you through the process and give you a step-by-step over 3 days how to execute on this. And if you do the work, the results will follow. The last time we did this concept, we did it in a 90-minute sprint, and Ken, 87 minutes in, threw off his headphones, says, I got to go. It worked. I'm going to show a house. Will that happen in every case? No, but you saw live here. Okay. I have an appointment tomorrow with a person I did not know when we started the live stream at whatever time it was that I started this, 12:30, something like that. Didn't know him. Also have Donna, who I am going to talk to after work. And we had Donald who replied. We had Thomas who replied. We talked to Nathan. That was a listing agent, but also had the expired listing who replied. And man, he is selling me hard, right? He's selling me. He's selling me. I'm not trying to sell him. He's selling me. Different positioning. It's definitely priced accordingly, blah, 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 blah. Like he's making the case for me. Okay. And if I can demonstrate my level of expertise and knowledge and the fact that I provide different and unique value than who first listed the property, one way or another, there may be the opportunity for a client. So I'll close the loop on that tomorrow as well. I've got to get back to Fran, which is the property I previewed yesterday morning. A lot to dig into. I hope you'll come and join the live stream tomorrow as well. And if you haven't already, you should register for the challenge, the 1 deal a week, 3-day challenge. It starts Monday, onedealaweek.com. The link is also in the description, onedealaweek.com /leaddeck.ai/fast, as in like fill your pipeline fast. Somebody's talking about Japan. I don't know. Anyway, thanks. Hope you got at least one nugget from the time. And I'll see those who are interested back tomorrow.